Hello, everyone. My name is Bolade Adeyemi. This is Kingdom Mentorship, and of course, I'm welcoming us to the 7th month of the second half, right? Second half of the year 2026. As we all know, if you are conversant with what's going on in the world, you will discover that the World Cup is currently going on, and if you're watching a football match, you discover that the second half is always the most sensitive part of the match. The second half is always the most sensitive part of the match. No matter what has happened, in the first half, the second half can decide what is finally going to happen, right? Second half can decide who wins the game, right? So this is very profound, and because we are in the second half of the year 2026, no matter what has happened to you, this year, in the first half of this year, you can still change the narrative. You can change the narrative. No matter the achievements you have gotten in the, beginning of this year, you can still double up. You can double up. So, really happy to be here again in another edition of Kingdom Mentorship. This month is a very great month already for us, and we want to thank God for keeping us to this moment. It has been His mercy and grace, right, that has sustained us till now. It has been His mercies and His grace that has sustained us till now. In this year, we have considered so many amazing topics, and we started with the mountains of influence, and then we talked about seed time and harvest. We also talked about the digestive system model of life, and we also talked about talented but rude. That's another topic entirely. We had another amazing topic. Last month, we talked about the face of a man, where we dissected what is expected of us as human, what humanity is all about. And if you have not seen those videos that I just mentioned, you should check them out by searching out, the topics on the YouTube channel. The YouTube channel name is Bolade Adeyemi. And this month we'll be considering another amazing topic, a very powerful topic titled The Power of Choice. Someone said the power of choice. So it will be on an exposition of how destinies are decided. How destinies are decided. So if this is the first time you're joining us on this program, this is Kingdom Mentorship, like I said earlier, and you should please subscribe to our YouTube channel, like this video, and you can also share so that every other person can be a blessing. Liking this video will help the YouTube algorithm to suggest it to more young people like you, and that is going to be very good. All right, so today, like I said, we're talking about the power of choice. The power of choice. There is no word that you've not heard before. You've heard power, you've heard choice. So we wouldn't be really doing what is this, what is that. No, we'll just be going straight to the point. I want us to go as pungent as we can so that we can move very fast. I also don't always want to make these videos long so that any other person trying to catch up, with the message can always catch up. So this is why we are always making everything snappy. All right, so today we're looking at the power of choice, and we'll be going on an exposition, on a journey of how destinies are decided. So the power of choice. The power of choice it is. So, the power of choice. When I say the power of choice, you see, the reason why God wants our worship more than that of angel. The angels are in heaven. They worship God. But then, do you know that God wants our worship more than those of the angels? You know why? Because the angels were created, they were configured to worship. So they were not doing it based on their willpower. They don't have a will. They cannot say, no, I'm not worshiping. They worship by default. But as believers, we have a will. We have a will. We were created to have a will. Remember, we're created like God. So because we are like God, we have a will and we can decide what happens. So we have a will, we have a choice. So that is why we're discussing this power that God has given us. We are very powerful because of this thing that God has given us, this power of choice. So you can decide your destiny. You see, as human beings, because of this will and choice, we can decide not to worship. It's not by force. Human beings have this willpower, and that is why there's always an option. If you check the Bible in Joshua chapter 24, verse 15, Joshua told the children of Israel, he said, I bring before you guys options. I bring before you life, I bring before you death. I bring before you the good one, I bring before you the bad one. He said, but I would advise you guys to choose the good. Choose the good. He now said, he said, but then as for me and my family, as for me and my household, we will serve the Lord. So this guy chose to serve God. This guy chose. He made a decision for not just him, he also made for his family. That already should suggest to you that whatever decision you make in life will not only affect you, but it will affect your family. I don't know if anybody is getting what I'm talking about. Whatever decision you make in life is not going to affect only you, but it's going to affect your family. It's going to affect you and your family. So we need to be careful of what we make, of the kind of decisions we make in life. And that is the reason why decision is very powerful. Your decision can determine the destiny of another person. To a point that until that person now also make a decision, they might not be free. Some of us, where we are today was as a result of the choices our fathers made. And we are not out of it yet. Some of us, where we are today, as a result of the decision that our mothers made, and we are not out of that decision yet. We're still right in the center of that decision. So it is very expedient to pay attention to this kind of topic. God gave us a will in life, so we can decide to do whatever we want to do with our lives. A man can decide not to eat. Even when there is food, you can have all kinds of delicacies in front of you and you will still decide not to eat. It's your choice. This is very powerful. I don't know if you're not getting it yet, but you should get it already. This is very powerful. It's powerful to the extent that there are things you can do, but you choose not to do them. That is very powerful. So the willpower is why God can't enforce Jesus on everyone. God gave us a will, and that's why He cannot say, okay, everybody, become a Christian now and receive Jesus by force. So no matter who you are, you still have to decide to accept Jesus. Remember that prayer that Jesus said? He said that not my will, but your will. It means that He also has a will. Believe me, if Jesus decided not to die anymore for us, He will go back to heaven. That's the end. That's the end of His mission on earth. He will not die anymore because He decided not to die. But then, remember that prayer point. He submitted His will and accepted the will of God. Did you all get what I'm saying? So this is very profound. This is very powerful. One Yoruba adage will say that you can take a horse to the river by force, but you cannot make it drink water by force. This is very profound. This is very powerful. So as young people or as young man, young woman, teenagers, where you are today is as a result of the decision you made yesterday. I remember I've also said, not just your decision of your parents. I don't know if you get what I'm saying. But then you would get to a point in life where the decision of your parents would not matter anymore, because you have gotten to a point, once you can distinguish between good and bad, immediately you can distinguish between good and bad, you have the power of choice. You have the power of choice, and you can decide what happens to you. You can decide that whatever decision that is affecting your life, whatever decision anybody has made that is affecting your life, you can decide that this is the end of the effect of such decision. I don't know if you get what I'm saying. So, today we'll be really going deep into some very cogent points that help us understand how powerful choices are. And I believe you're following me. If you have been following me, please let us know where your name and where you're watching from. You can type it on the comment section. If you're just joining on, this is Kingdom Mentorship, and you can hit the subscribe button, hit the like button, and also share, so that the YouTube algorithm can share it to more people, and so that they can also be blessed. All right, so we move forward to the truths about choice. The truths about choice. Truths about choice. Because of our time, that's where we're rushing. Number one, you cannot make a decision if there are no options. You cannot make a decision if there are no options. Now, imagine yourself, in a buffet, and you have rice, you have dodo, you have spaghetti, and then you have yam and egg, and then they come to you and say, "Okay, sir, what do you want? What do you want to eat? What do you want to eat?" And then you say, "Okay, I want probably yam and egg." That's your favorite, or it's been a while you had it, right? You would make that decision. That is because there is an option. That is why you're being given a decision. You're being given an opportunity to make a decision. But now let's assume you go to a friend's place, and all he cooked was rice. All he cooked was rice, and then that is the only food available. He would not say, "What do you want to eat?" He would just say, "Will you eat rice?" Because that is the only option available. So if you cannot, be said to have made a decision if there are no options. That's the first powerful thing I want you to know about choice. If you don't have a choice, then you can't make a decision. To choose means you have to be aware of other options and the possibility that they create. To choose means that you have to be aware of other options and the possibility that they create. So why there are so many people who were given no choice in life? For example, like I said the other time, a child born into poverty has no choice. He has to choose poverty. He had no option. So he had no opportunity to make a choice. However, this is very powerful. Please get this. This is very powerful. However, a child will grow to a point where he or she can make a decision that can either make him to continue in that line of poverty that has been chosen for him, or break out of poverty and become wealthy. So, like I said, if you don't have a choice, or if you don't have options, then there's no choice. But then you grow into having options. You grow into having options. What you know might not be the only thing available. Please do your research. And that's why, as young people, let us study, find out, get information. You need to know your options. You need to know your options. You need to know what is available for you. You need to find out your options. Many people did not know that there is a way out of poverty, so they died in poverty. Many people did not know. There's some women in abusive marriages. They did not know that there is a way out of abusive marriages, so they died in the abuse. So you need to find out your option. You need to find out your option so that you can make a decision today. You need to find out your option. Please type in the comment section and say, find out the option. Find out your option. Find out your option. Find out your option. Make a choice. Make a choice. Type it in the comment section. All right, we go to the next point. Number 2, choices and decisions are pathways. They always lead somewhere. Choices and decisions are pathways. They always lead somewhere. See, let me tell you something. The path you follow in life is made available as a result of the decisions you made. So if you choose something, that is a path. You just set a pathway for yourself. It is as profound as that. And that is why there's a saying that even in decision, not making a decision, is already a decision. If you are not making a decision, that is already a decision. So as a young man or woman, you're setting pathways for yourself when you make decision in life and destiny. Whatever you choose today will lead somewhere. There is somewhere that it's leading to. There's a path that you have set for yourself. Who you marry today will lead somewhere. It will lead somewhere. So don't just say, let me just marry anybody that is available. Don't just chase physique. Don't just be looking for the biggest boobs and the biggest backside, and then leave every other factor in life. Because at the end of the day, you are choosing to lead. That your choice rather is leading somewhere. So who you marry today is very important. The job you do today will lead somewhere. The money you choose to save today, others are squandering money, no problem. But then you choose to save, it will lead somewhere. It will lead somewhere. And the same thing, the job you learn today, some people don't know anything, they don't want to learn anything, it will lead somewhere. One day somebody will ask you, what can you do? And you say, I cannot do anything. It will lead somewhere. And then the job you choose not to learn obviously leads somewhere. And the money you squander today will lead somewhere. When you now need money tomorrow, then you will be looking for money all around. You would not be able to get money for yourself. So this is very profound. Our decisions and our choices in life, they are pathways. And they are leading somewhere. So you are going somewhere with your life decisions. Some people are on a path to life. Sadly so. Some people are on a pathway to destruction. So as a young person, you must always ask yourself this question: where am I heading to? Where am I heading to? See, no matter the decisions that you have made in life, no matter what you have done in your life, you can always change the trajectory of your life. No matter the choices you have made, no matter the mistakes you have made, the next decision is the most important thing that will make things happen. The next decision can change everything about your life. The next decision can make a better person. The next decision can land you in a flash from bad luck to luck. The next decision in a flash can land you from poverty to prosperity. The next decision in a flash can land you in another place. Why? Because decisions and choices are pathways. So like I've been saying, if you're just joining us, this is Kingdom Mentorship, and we are young people that want to get our mentality changed. And one of the most important things we do is to make sure that all this mentality are being hinged on the Word of God. So this is why we're thriving here. And please, if you're joining us for the first time and this is the first time you hear my voice or watching this video, you can hit the subscribe button and then like this video and even share so that every other person can be a blessing. So that every other person can be blessed rather. So all right, let's quickly go to the next point. The next thing we want to talk about, number 3, the third truth about choices is that You only make choices. You can't choose consequences. You only make choices. You can't choose consequences. So this is another very profound one. This is another very profound one. Every decision is connected to a consequence. Every decision in life is already connected to a consequence. A consequence is the resultant action or effect of a decision. A consequence is the resultant effect of a decision. A consequence is the resultant effect of a decision. So could it be that what you're going through was the resultant effect of decision you made yesterday? So there are consequences already connected to every decision in life. There are consequences already connected to every decision in life. So let's break it more. Let's break it down more. Poverty is a consequence of a decision of not knowing your way around money. Poverty is a consequence of a decision. Failure is a consequence of a decision. For instance, it's a consequence of your not reading or preparing for an exam. Consequence is a decision. Even death is a decision. If you uphold a lifestyle that exposes you to a disease, then your ears might be seized. Death might become the consequence. So when you see two people, one is suffering, the other is enjoying. Ultimately, they are living in the realities of the consequences of their decision. They are living in the reality of the consequences of their decision. For example, a man can decide to kill another man, but when the consequences are being read before him, he would not be able to choose the consequences. So the consequences are automatically attached. What's the consequence of manslaughter? What's the consequence of a first order degree? What's the consequence of a second order degree? First murder degree, first order degree, right? What's the consequence of the second order degree of murder? What's the consequence? You need to understand that you can only make choices. You don't choose the consequences. The consequences automatically surfaces as a result of the decision that you made. So could it be that the poverty you're experiencing today is a result of the decision somebody has made or that you made? Could it be that the failure you experienced was your decision of the decision of not doing what you're supposed to do when you're supposed to do them? So all these are very profound. Poverty is a decision, failure is a decision, bad luck is a decision, good luck is a decision, is a consequence rather, is a consequence of a decision. Poverty is a consequence of a decision, failure is a consequence of a decision, right? Death is a consequence of a decision. Now, wealth is a consequence of a decision. Now, success is a consequence of a decision. Now, life, living long, is a consequence of a decision. So, you only make choices. You can't choose the consequences. You only make choices. You can't choose the consequences. So, you can write it in the comment section. Say, you only make choices. You can't choose the consequences. You only make choices. You can't choose the consequences. This is very, very profound. All right, we'll quickly move to the next point, the next truth about choice. Decisions decides destiny. Decisions decides destiny. Your decision will determine the quality of your life. A decision will determine the quality of your life. It does not matter what is currently happening in your life right now. Your decision can change your life. The prodigal son just woke up one day and makes a decision to collect his inheritance and leave his father's house. Right? This decision landed him in a strange country with pigs, eating with the swines. Then one morning again, he got tired and woke up and decided to do what? And decided to go back to his father, right? And that decision landed him back in his father's house. I don't know if you get what I'm saying. So he woke up one morning again and said, I will go back to my father. This decision landed him straight into his father's house. So another person is Lot. Lot was with Abraham, right? He was with Abraham, and then one day he decided to leave Abraham. Guess what? He landed in Sodom that was destroyed. He landed in a destroyed city. Do you see now? So his decision determined his destiny. His decision determined where he landed. So whatever will happen to you will be a resultant effect of your decision in life. So what your destiny will be is going to be a cumulative effect of your decisions. So if a young man decides that he does not want to go to school, he will never be a graduate. It is not a course. He will just never be a graduate, because you can only be a graduate when you go to school. So your decisions or choices determine where you finally end up in life. If it takes making decision to rise in life. It takes making decision to what? To rise in life. It also takes making decision to fall or fail in life. So when you hear destiny, this destiny is a resultant effect of decision made. So you can always decide your destiny by what? By decisions. Somebody say DDD. Decisions decides destiny. All right. So if you're just, joining us on this call, this is Kingdom Mental Shift, and you're welcome. You can, hit the subscribe button if you're just joining us, and share this to other people so that they can be blessed, and so that the YouTube algorithm can pick it up. This is very important. All right. The last point we'll be doing this afternoon, because of our time, or this day rather, whatever your time zone, in morning, afternoon, night. Another point we're going to be considering this day is number 5. Prolonged indecision is giving circumstances permission to choose for you. Prolonged indecision is giving circumstances permission to choose for you. I mean that prolonged decision means giving circumstances permission to choose for you. This means that when you did not decide to decide, then circumstances will decide for you. Now, let's take, for example, if a farmer decides not to do anything about his farmstead, if a farmer decides not to do anything about a farmstead, a farmer did not decide not to do anything on his farmland, what happens? Life will allow weeds to grow on it. Remember, the farmer has not made any decision yet, but then rain, wind, right? Pollen grain, butterfly will carry seed and come and drop it right there. So life is making a decision for you when you are not making a decision. So in other words, even if you decide not to make a choice in life, life and circumstances will automatically help you make that decision. So if you decide not to make a decision, life will make it for you. So it is very, very dangerous to allow life to make decisions for you. It is very dangerous because it will most likely be to your disadvantage. So many people have left life alone to make decisions for them. They finally suffered. So if you refuse to do anything with your life, life will give you any outcome it likes, any outcome. And trust me, most of the outcome in life are bad outcomes. They're bad outcomes. As young people, we must not release our lives and destiny to chances. Take responsibility of your life. Take charge of your life. Do not leave it to chances. No matter what has happened to you, no matter the wrong decisions you have made in life, you can still make the right decision. Don't fold your arms and say, okay, whatever will be, will be. Have you heard that before? Whatever will be, will be. Whatever will be, will be. Whatever will be is what you made it be, because you did not do anything. You can always change the outcome of life. All right. We're going to be concluding. Like I said, I don't always want to pass 30 minutes. We want to conclude. In life, your choices can superimpose your condition. If it is a good choice, it will lead to greatness. No matter what is going on with you, it will lead to greatness. If it is a bad choice, it will lead to your downfall. So choices are very powerful. So as young people, we need wisdom to navigate life, because the real value of wisdom is in its ability to help you make superior destiny advancing decisions. That is the real value of wisdom. That's the real value of wisdom. So you can only decide if a person is wise. Like, you can just look at somebody and say, oh, this guy is wise, based on the quality of the decisions that he or she makes. That's the only thing that can make you decide that, well, this guy is wise, this guy is not wise. So, meanwhile, beware of a life of excuses, because once you master the act of giving an excuse, why did this happen to you? It's my daddy, it's my mommy, it's because he did this, it's because of that. Anybody that has mastered the life of giving excuse is about to fail in life. Failure will not make you take the right decisions. Failure will not make you take charge of your destiny. Excuses will not make you take charge of your destiny. Excuses will not make you take charge of your life. Excuses will not make you take charge of your life. And this will lead to failure. Shun excuses and what? Take charge of your life. Take charge of your life. Like I said, remember, you need wisdom to make the right decision in life. So therefore, tell God to give you wisdom to make the right decision in life. We are young people. We have made decisions and we are still going to make decisions. So we need to continually tell God, Lord, in life and destiny, give me the wisdom to make the right decision. Lord, in life and destiny, give me the wisdom to make the right decision. So this is where we'll be stopping it on this month, the power of choice. I believe that you are blessed, and if you are right in the comment section, you can type I'm blessed. I'm blessed. You can also type what you gained today. You can also type if you have any question, you can put it in the comment section. If you want to join our WhatsApp group, you can indicate. And if you're just new here, please subscribe to our channel and like the video, and even share. Like the video so that YouTube algorithm can suggest it to more other people so that they'll be blessed. So again, this is Kingdom Mental Shift. Thank you for joining us today. Let's have a wonderful day. Thank you.